I got better.
All right.
We live.
We're live.
Right.
And we have special guests. Y'all say hello.
Hello.
Hey, family.
How y'all doing?
Well,
Yeah.
hope everybody's doing well and good and wonderful and looking forward to Christmas. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm out on Santa come and see me, but maybe some of these folks in the chat's gonna see Santa Claus.
I'm getting cold.
You getting what?
Cold.
Cold. Hey, cold's a resource. That stuff's expensive now.
Yes, it is. And if you put enough pressure to it, it becomes a diamond. So in a while from now,
There you go.
I'll have something very valuable. It might be a long while from now.
No doubt. I don't know, Rebecca. I mean, they say it. It's heat and pressure. Not like me. I stay under heat and pressure all the time. So if I was cold, I'd want fuel.
Yeah, I'm good. I get enough heat and pressure. We ought to be able to turn that sucker into a diamond real fast.
No doubt. How many we got in chat tonight?
I ain't got a clue.
We got 19 right now.
Yep.
19. I wonder if my darling bride and my baby girl's in there.
Your baby girl will be.
I have not seen Abby, nor have I seen Wanda. However, Tennessee Cherokee, Prospecting USA, Miss Pat, Blue Eyed Northern, Janelle, Jesse Underwood, Richard Jr., Mark D., Mark Creel. I said Janelle, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Said Janelle.
Miss Pat's gonna be in there.
Yeah, Miss
Terry
Terry Allen, David Blaylock, Wanda House. There she is.
Wanda's in there.
There she is. Where's my baby at?
And Jean Hudson.
Yep, Miss.
So, and Donna West made it in.
Yeah.
Look at
So,
that.
hey, everybody. Glad to see y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Tell Spencer that. Maybe he will squeeze that BF right to see. Oh, my Lord. I don't think there's an episode that goes by that we don't get a Spencer roast in.
You're right. People think I'm kidding. If that rock that Kumbo gave him had been as big as a Volkswagen Beetle, he would have went and rented a skid steer or something and figured out a way to get that baby home.
Yep.
I mean,
Sure
that was a wonderful trip, y'all. I mean,
that was fun.
Every time we get together, we always have fun, but that was an exceptional fun time.
Yeah, it was. We all had a good time and got some good laughs out of it and had some good fellowship.
That's what it's all about. I mean,
yeah,
just hanging out, having good friends and family.
Well, that's what I keep telling everybody is, to me, it's about the people than the Bigfoot or anything else. It's about us as humans and fellowshipping and also, she gonna play with the thing tonight, fellas. Tell them what she's gonna do.
Oh God.
E. Pullen has made it in the house. Paramedic has made it in the house. Mr. Spikes has made it in the house. Cynthia Johns has joined us as well. Hey, all y'all.
Miss Love Bug.
Y'all, let me go in here and fix this.
I'm trying.
I told you, Rebecca's a jokester now. Y'all just.
I'm telling you.
Fixing that. Well,
what? You know what's wrong? She's been messaging Misty too much, and Misty's rubbed off, and they rubbed off each other. It's like them popsicles.
That's more like it. We rubbed off on each other.
It's like them popsicle sticks Mr. Jim rubbed together.
What Prospecting said. Hold on, let me highlight that one.
I'm trying to get in my phone here on where I can see some chat.
There you go.
So Prospecting said Kumbo just picked up a rock in the yard for Spencer.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, Abby made it in. Hey, Miss Abby.
Hey, Abby.
There she is. We all in here now.
Hey, you need to make her and Wanda.
We did.
Did? Okay.
I think we did.
Yeah, they are. Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, Abby.
Yeah, we have a lot of admin to not need admins, really.
Abby's
not admin.
Abby's got 3 swords of power now. She's admin on here. She's on Squatch and Holler and on Woodwalkers. I mean, that's pretty big for an 11-year-old.
I know, right? And a member of SAS.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. She's full-fledged member. Got the hoodie shirt and all. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna take away. Joe Parker got me a Joe Pass Bigfoot shirt that I've yet to wear because I think I might put it on, get my picture made. And it's a super cool shirt. And
before she steals it.
well, yeah, I think it's sized to fit me, but I think Abby's figured out that that's gonna make like a wonderful sleep shirt. And
if not, she can grow into it.
Oh yeah, I think we've done come up with that conclusion.
Because she's sprouting like.
Yeah, y'all, she has grown. Oh my God, she's grown about 10 inches in this summer.
You know they do that.
Yeah, I know. We feed and water her pretty regular, so I think that's got something.
Right. Well, if you blink, she'll be 22 before you know it. Because that's what I got. Mine's 22 now, and she'll be 23 this month.
I try not to think about it. I don't like depression.
Let's just keep her below 16.
Yeah. I've done told her she can't go out on a date till she's 30.
No. She can't go on a date till she's married.
There you go. I like that idea.
And she can't get married till she's 30.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That sounds like a plan. I keep asking her. She thinks I'm just picking at her about her. I think she thinks I'm just picking at her about the little boys at school. I keep asking her. It's like, you got your little boyfriend? She won't even say that. She just like cut her eyes over at me. I said, I don't know. She may have, she may not. But
I asked her last night when we was coming out of the woods from deer hunting. I said, Abby, how many boyfriends you got? And he went silent.
Yeah, she won't tell us.
Can you imagine a boy coming over to take her out and seeing me and Greg sitting there on the couch waiting on her?
It's probably gonna be bad. It's probably gonna be bad.
In all honesty, we'd probably be very glad for her, but the boy's not gonna like it.
No,
he's not. No.
Have you, Greg? Have you already thought about when that day comes what you gonna say to the boy?
Well, I mean, me and him's gonna bond, and we're gonna sit down and watch an episode of Deliverance, and he'll learn what banjo music is.
Oh,
I always told Ella I was going to take hers rock climbing.
I mean, I'm just gonna explain to him, and straight up that whatever he does to my daughter, I'm gonna do to him twice again.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
I mean, that ought to.
And God forbid you ever hurt her.
Yeah, that'd be bad. I mean, the woods are deep. The woods are deep and the woods are dark, and there's plenty of stump holes that need filled.
Yeah, and you got some hairy buddies that like to run around over there too.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sure we can find some hog farmers because won't nothing be left.
We know where they're at most of the time.
Yeah, it'll be like one of those. Be like, Mr. House, why do I need glamour shot photos? Well, son, that's to go on the milk carton. You want to look really good when people are looking for you.
Just take a selfie with me, dude. Just take a selfie.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I can tell you, I'm not ready for a little girl that's my daughter to be ready to be dating anybody. Let's put it that way.
No.
So maybe I've got
that's a little early, though.
Maybe I got a little while. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, man. So,
Well, just keep her in the woods all you can.
oh, are y'all ready for Santa Claus?
I'm all shopped out. I'm done.
Are you?
I'm ready to start giving everybody their gifts. I told y'all what my decorations this year was, right?
I don't
I
know.
bought 2 trays. They were buy one, get one free. One's in the kitchen, one's in the living room. I'm done.
There you go. I
That's what I was telling you. Me and her kind of, I don't know. We just hadn't been in the mood for some reason. I don't know if it's because we've been puny or too much going on. It's just hard to get in the mood for it for some reason. I don't know.
It really hadn't been cold enough yet.
Yeah, well, like
It's
Wanda,
never cold enough, though.
I have to go on protest or Wanda. She'd play Christmas music all summer long. I mean, she's like, the day after Christmas, she starts counting down to the next Christmas. I'm like, would you quit? I mean, it's like a fight every year about, like soon as Halloween, the day after Halloween, she's wanting to put a tree up.
Hey, Misty.
That shotgun shell tree.
Yeah.
Shotgun shell tree?
Yeah, she made fun of me one time. I was going to make my own Christmas lights, and we hadn't been married long. And I mean,
Hey, Spencer.
we talked 7 years ago, and I made my own lights for a Christmas tree, and I had a bunch of buckets full of shotgun shells that I would reload my own shells. Mm-hmm. And I sat there and hot glued a bunch of Christmas lights inside of shotgun shells, and she kind of made fun of me for a little while until we turned them on, and that looked like really cool. So, I mean, I think you can even buy them like that now, but yeah, I made them a long time ago. A long time ago.
That was probably in 91.
No, that was after that because we got married probably 97, 98. But I'll tell you what, I'm let down because I've been on them now at home. Don't worry, the day after Halloween, it's like we had to have a Christmas tree up like an emergency. And look here. Spencer. I don't know what he's yelling about.
Squirrels in there too.
I'm telling you, Sister Squirrel. Y'all, it's probably
I'm Sister Squirrel.
It's probably a damn good thing that me and Misty don't live within 4 or 5 miles from each other, because we'd took over at least half of a state by now. That or we'd need an exorbitant amount of jail bond money or bail money or something.
Bail money.
Probably. Yep. Yeah, that. But I hope Spencer, did you get your dadgum phone fixed? You and your Mickey Mouse rinky dink Dollar General. His Dollar General telephone. I think on his internet or whatever up there at his house, it's sponsored by Campbell Soup and some trotline cord.
Oh
my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna interrupt this broadcast for a moment to get our typical usual things out of the way.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody that has joined us in the chat. You are in for a treat tonight. Just got to say, you're in for a treat tonight. We got the one and only Big Chief and Big Sexy in the house. So we're going to go from there. I done changed their names on them a couple times. They've been Possum's buddies. I mean, they've been a few things. But we're going to go ahead and get Plant of the Week out of the week, and we're going to get the Book of the Week out of the way. And y'all forgive me for bad talking, because it happens. Like I done said, Plant of the Week out of the week.
Yeah. Oh, you gonna make it.
So the plant of this week, we're still doing a lot of these plants that you can go outside and find and forage up, and that you don't have to actually grow and tend to. This week we're doing nettles. So Nettles, nettles. There's a lot of different varieties of nettles. One of them is purple dead nettle. That's got some benefits as well. But today's particular plant we're talking about is stinging nettles. So stinging nettles has a lot of uses, and we typically use those leaves and stuff as teas and tinctures and all that good stuff. You can eat them in salads if you want. It's a little rough, but you can. But you can tease out of it, dry them, and do tinctures. I stay tongue-tied, Ken, just saying. But it is very good for a lot of things. Just like most all of the herbs that we've talked about, they are very good for a lot of things. So this one is actually good for high blood pressure, diabetes. What else did I say earlier? I'm going to have to look it up again because I done forgot. But it's got so many different uses. It's another good one that has a lot of uses. Give me just a second.
I don't know if I've ever seen them or not.
They hurt when you pull them.
Well, now, Rebecca, is that the stinging nettles? The stinging nettles, is that the one that usually where they grow, that basically the antidote for them grows right there with it? It's some other plant. Is that what I'm thinking about?
I think they have one too, but you're thinking of poison ivy and jewelweed.
It may be, but I was thinking there was one that was the stinging nettle. Because now, does the stinging nettle grow like on creek banks and stuff? Is that right?
Jewelweed does.
Okay. Well, I know there was
stinging nettle can grow in your backyard.
Okay. I knew there was one that I read at one time, and it was talking about that.
Okay. I don't know.
Well, basically, it was talking about a lot of different things. That if you had one that caused the problem, usually the cure antidote
That's it.
would be right there. So,
yeah, poison ivy is that way. Jewelweed, you make a concoction for your skin out of it, and it grows where the poison ivy's growing. Jewelweed grows on a lot of creek banks, but it also grows out in the woods and stuff like that. Stinging nettles, I don't know what type of blooms it has. I've never really seen the blooms on them. Purple dead nettle has a pinkish bloom.
Lord, it kind of looks like mint.
It kind of does, yeah. I'm not seeing white blooms on these. Well, there's one with a white bloom. So it may have a white bloom, whoever asked that question.
I wonder if there's several varieties, though.
Not of stinging nettles. Okay. There's several varieties of nettles.
Okay.
So, but yes, Spencer answered the other one that I was looking for. The other one was arthritis. So if you've got high blood pressures, diabetes, arthritis, I think it is kidney benefits and stuff like that too. May reduce inflammation, hay fever symptoms, blood sugar levels, and other benefits. I mean, so this is like every other herb that I tell you. Make sure you know how to identify it, first of all. And Google is your friend for now. As long as we've got the internet, please make use of it. That way you can properly ID it, properly know how to use it, know all of the benefits and everything. And also know that there are some that do this and some that do the same thing. And some do it better than others. And some you combine them to do a better job than they are already. I know I said that in a big old huge circle, but, Google it, find out for yourself what you want to use these herbs for, and make sure that you can properly identify them. That's the number one thing.
Rebecca, one thing that really a lot of people, I can't keep up with all this stuff. And that's the reason that I tell people, please don't rely on electronic devices and the internet. Nope. Because what's going to hit the fan is going to be when the grid shuts down, you're not going to have any electricity. You're not going to have any internet. And you're going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs going, I wish I coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Exactly.
Look, there's all kind of books out there you can get. If nothing else, if you've got a printer at home, when you find this stuff, print it out, catalog it, put it in a binder, label it where it's easy for you to find. Because if you mark and label it yourself, you're going to be able to go to it.
Yes.
Put that information on paper and put it up. I hope and pray that you never need it. But I also pray that if you do need it, you got it.
100%.
Yeah. We were talking about before the show came on. I told Rebecca, Wanda kind of dogged me and asked me like I was stupid, which I get that a lot. But she was dogging me because I had stopped at a yard sale a couple of years ago, and the lady, it was like an estate sale, and the lady had a full set of the Encyclopedia Britannicas. I gave the lady like $10 for the whole set. And when I was a kid, y'all, I'm talking about like in the late 70s, early 80s, if you had bought even the encyclopedias up till that point, and as the years went by, they kept adding to them. So the newer the set you get, the more info it had. The thing about it with those encyclopedias, the older info is not going to change. Pretty much is not going to change. There is a wealth of information in those books. So a lot of things, y'all scavenge, look at yard sales, look for those books, look for things that'll have that info. And a lot of that info, they really don't. They look at it as people don't need it. They don't emphasize it much anymore. But there's a wealth of information in those old books.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's not information that totally changes. It's information that updates, but it doesn't change.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like I have my father's.
Ragweed is not the same thing, whoever said that.
Huh?
No, ragweed is not this plant.
No. I think it was, I don't know who that was.
Paramedic.
Now, you was talking about some plants that grow together, like goldenrod and ragweed grow together.
Yeah.
And ragweed is the one that really tears us up.
Yep.
And goldenrod is the one
that you can take to treat the congestion. That's common in the plant world. There's a lot of plants that will grow and their remedies next to it.
Yeah,
I have not heard them called bull nettle.
Right, Gary's from Oklahoma, so that might be because that's another thing you get into where people live. We all have names, different names for the same thing,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. When I went to school for all this, we had to learn the scientific name and the Latin name, the scientific name, the family, and the actual name of it because of that reason, because everybody calls it a different name. We had to learn it by its actual names and its scientific family name, species, variety, all that stuff. And I have seen that just so much since going to school. Everybody calls the same plant one thing, but that's also why I say make sure you Google it, make sure you're using trusted references. And like Greg said, when you find it, print it out or find it in a book and mark it. That way you know what you have and that you can reference that later, because everybody does call things different names.
I feel like we got ripped off here in North Alabama, at least. I don't know about where y'all are. Y'all are more central East Alabama than like us in Northwest. But Misty's always showing the stuff that they find up there in Tennessee. And man, you just go out in the woods up there and just take a bite out of every other thing you see. Down here, you eat something out of these woods, if you ain't real careful, you're going to be toes turned up and buried.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
I mean, they just go through the woods and graze. Just walk by and bite the side of a tree. You try that here, and it's going to go bad for you.
You eat the road.
Yeah, here in the South, it's kind of like Australia. Everything's out to kill you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was talking to somebody at work today, and they had their dog with them, and they were talking about fleas and ticks and everything. So we had the nice conversation about how the oils that you put on your dog, they don't really do anything unless the tick bites them. So you're actually bringing them in the house until the tick bites them. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah. I said, and I'm sure where you're from, because they just moved here. I said, I'm sure where you're from, you get a winter and things die back. Not here. We were just 70 something the other day and 20 the other night. And, it's just one thing after another here. We get that fooled you again winter. So
I sat over here at the Greenfield this evening in my Jeep. Like, if everybody's been watching, I've been having to hunt out of my Jeep because my ankle come apart. But I had I had two big skeeter dactyls flying in the Jeep with me today. It's like dad blame, here it is, early part of December, and skeeter dactyls are trying to suck the blood out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I was telling these people, because they were asking about dog vaccines too. They thought, well, they're good for snakes and stuff. I was like, yeah. Yeah.
Joe Parker.
And then they were like, what snakes do y'all have? I was like, well, if it's poisonous, we got it.
Joe Parker talking about my ass. Joe, I'm an active conversationalist. Look here. If I hold my hands together, I'm just gonna be quiet.
I was glad you moved your hand, because that made me realize you were trying to talk.
No, that's hey, look, at home, if I ain't careful, I have to hold my hand up, get permission to say anything. That's why I talk much with Maine at home.
Miss Wanda, go easy on him. Go easy on him, Miss Wanda.
I mean, I just stay cowed down all the time. This is what PTSD, marital PTSD looks like.
There you
go easy on him, Miss Wanda.
That's what y'all talking about. Why I'm not. There you go.
Yeah. Al's saying what marriage does to a happy individual.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Terry asked, yes, goldenrod will counteract ragweed.
Yes.
And they usually grow together.
Goldenrod is a wet pollen. It is not what we are sneezing our heads off with. It is actually one that is a decongestant, and dries up the mucus that you get, congested with. Ragweed is the one that causes it. So, yep. They counteract each other.
YouTube auditor asked, could they post up a name of a channel?
Absolutely. Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
We are perfectly happy with that.
Wanda said something.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that.
Oh,
3 crutches. All right. So now up to the next part of our Friday lives. We are up to the book of the week, and I am going to have Mr. Greg talk about this one while I find it again, and it's called The Way of the Wilderness. And I have done lost my phone, y'all. There it is. So, Greg, talk about it real quick.
Yeah, it was just some books that I bought several years ago because I mean, y'all, I kind of halfway jokingly about, you know, it caught on around 99 before Y2K. Everybody, I'm going to be a prepper, and I tell everybody I was prepping before prepping was cool. I grew up where my grandfather, my dad's dad, I mean, the man come through the Depression. He come through World War II. He was born in 1907. So, you know, he always preached about, you know, one of these days we're going to have another Civil War. Things going to get bad. It's going to be horrible here. You know, son, if we hadn't had a 22 rifle and a little handful of shells, we'd have went hungry. We couldn't go out and waste shells. If you leave with 3 shells, you better come back with 3 rabbits, 3 squirrels, 2 rabbits, 1 squirrel.
That's right.
Then it better be something to eat. And he preached to me and preached to me and preached to me. Trying to be able to be self-sustaining for you and your family. And that was the thing is, you know, I tried to make sure I had provisions, and, you know, there for a long time, I didn't stock up like I should have. I did put a lot of stuff away, but then Y2K came, and, you know, a lot of these, and there'll be a lot of people on here that we're going to have some folks on here that wasn't even alive before Y2K. Some of them were probably little bitty kids. I mean, it'd be hard to explain to some of them that didn't live through it and pay attention and weren't adults on how crazy people went. Just absolutely. They think that all this stuff with COVID was bad. They should have been in a lot of places during Y2K. Losing their minds. Y'all, I mean, people, y'all saw what happened. Y'all saw what happened with Y2K. Y'all saw what happened with COVID. Here again, Wanda made fun of me because I was the coolest dude on the block because I had a friend that he ran a route and they sold paper goods. They wound up with an 18-wheeler truckload of super fluffy, like a generic Charmin toilet tissue that was really, really good. I was buying 96-roll cases of this toilet tissue for $25. I bought 5 cases, put them up in my basement, stored them, nothing was going to get them. They were saved. One was like, woohoo, we got toilet paper. I don't have to buy. No. That's emergency usage. Oh my God, why does anybody need 500 rolls of toilet paper? Blah, 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 blah.
Wait and see.
There may be a day when you'll be begging for something to wipe your butt with and you can't get it. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Oh my God, why couldn't you get toilet paper? Oh my God. Well, guess what?
We couldn't get toilet paper.
The COVID hit, the great toilet paper famine. Guess who the coolest kid that she knew was? Right here. We come go, hey, is it okay if we if I like take some toilet tissue to mom, and they've had some ordered for weeks and nobody's had any? Like, well, go down there and get 30 rolls, carry them over there. Just there you go. So that took a lot off me on, here's the deal. This is why I bought 400 cans of canned goods.
Yep.
Be quiet. I mean, y'all, I mean, it was hard to get, it's hard to get somebody on board if they don't believe in or see the need to prep somewhat.
Very much so. I'm
not saying that you've got to have 27 years worth of food and you can lock the doors on your house and never go nowhere and be fine. No. Y'all, I went through a law enforcement only class that was held by the ATF, the FBI, Homeland Security, and FEMA. It was like all the alphabet groups. And it was a post-blast investigation class. The thing was 2 days. Here was the thing. The class talked about any kind of explosive from a bottle rocket to a nuclear bomb and what could happen after an explosion. But it talked about how if the grid in the United States went down, and it talked about preparedness. And basically just the high point of it, if you could be self-sustaining for 90 days, that after it's going to get really bad within 30 days, then 60 is going to be pretty horrible. But if you can hold out to the 90, things should start improving. And that was what they really wanted us to do, was to prepare to be at least self-sustaining for 90 days. Y'all, I see people all the time, well, I can't afford to do that. I can't buy that much stuff. Look, skip going out and eating one meal a week. Take that. Now it's $15 for one person to eat out. If you go to McDonald's, take that $15, go to Walmart, go to the Dollar General, wherever, buy a few canned goods with that $15. Next week, go buy $5, buy 20, whatever you got extra. Dig in your couch cushions, get change, figure out how many cans of something that you like, whether it's a cheap condensed soup, get something, put it back.
Yep.
And as you buy stuff, take the older stuff and start using it and start kind of, and just every time you use something, replace it.
Don't just use it, replace it.
Yeah,
exactly. But there again, just because if it's a metal can or a glass jar, if it's canned and sealed, if that thing is not, oh God, super Spencer. Yes. Anyway, if that can, if it's still sealed, hermetically sealed, it's not leaking, it's not swollen, it's not compromised, it doesn't matter what the best by date is on it. That can of beans could be 30 years old.
But that's just it. It's a best buy date, not best used.
Yeah, not throw it away or you're going to die. No, if that thing is sealed, if it's still sealed properly,
it's still good.
It could be 40 years old. It's not going to hurt you. All the nutrients, everything that came in it when it was new is still in.
It's still there.
It's not going to hurt you. Now, it may not taste as fresh, but let's face it, you still got food you can eat, or you can chew on some rocks. Yeah, exactly. It's still going to sustain you. So, yeah, I had maybe a wife that gave away, I think it was like 15 cases, flats of veg oil that maybe her husband had bought and put back, and it was going to go out of the best by date within a few months. And her husband came home and opened the pantry door and looked like, where'd all the veg oil go? What'd you do with the veg oil that was in the pantry? What do you mean? I said, did you put it in the basement? No, that stuff was fixing to go out of date, so I donated it to the church or the canned food drive or whatever. Yeah. There's like 10, 12 cans to a flat, and there was like 15 flats of veg oil. And it's like, please don't do that anymore, please.
It's not an expiration date.
At least it didn't get thrown in the trash. It went to somebody that could use it, but still, I had my veg oil back.
There's a lot of things you can do, and they're not real hard to do. It's just trying to stay consistent with it and rotating and using it. But like you said, if stuff is sealed properly, it can go a long time.
Oh yeah. Well, look at all the guys that would talk about even as late as Vietnam. They were eating like sea rations from World War II. That stuff had been put up, and they were still feeding soldiers some of that canned food stuff.
Oh yeah. It's there's a lot of things that will last for a long time if it's properly put up correctly and everything. Well, I know you told me a little bit about the hunting today, but if y'all want to talk, you and Al, a little bit about what you seen today and what went on with hunting and everything.
Sure. I mean, we hunted this morning, and some of the folks had been looking on the Woodwalkers Facebook page. I posted some picture stuff this morning, and I saw several does that come out this morning. I posted a picture of the first one that come out, and the dadgum shooting house that Abby likes to hunt. That first deer come out, which is not doe season. She couldn't have killed it, but I had a doe that came right out in front of it, just a few yards, and stayed there. The deer come in like just barely after 6 o'clock, just breaking daylight, and didn't leave till after 7:30. Then I had it was 3 other does that came in on the other end of the field, and then I had 2 after they left. Then I had 2 more come in. So I saw. Trying to think, what did we figure? It was maybe been another one in there. Anyway, it was 7. I can't remember how it all counted up, but I saw 7 this morning. I was messaging Al. He was a few hundred yards from me in another field, and he had 7 turkeys come in.
Well, there wound up being 13 altogether, but 7 at one time.
Yeah, so he saw a bunch of turkeys. And then this evening I went and I saw several does come in. They come from a total different area. In this field, y'all, is 28 acres that I was hunting in. The field he's hunting in is about 12, I guess. And it's on both the fields are on 300-acre parcel that I got the hunting rights to. And but we're a few hundred yards apart. But yeah, I saw those does, different does this evening, because they come at total different end of the field. And the other shooting house, my dad's shooting house, there was one of those does walked up to it, y'all, looked like it was going to lick the wall. I don't know what it was doing. There's some little vines growing up beside that shooting house. It had to walked up within 8-10 inches of the shooting house. So, and that was the shooting house that me and Abby went and sat in yesterday and didn't see nothing. And then Al, he had some excitement this evening. He had a deer over there like running around him.
Oh yeah, I had from where I was sitting to this old tree that's fell over is probably 250 yards, and it's an old pine tree, so it's up off the ground about 3-4 foot maybe, and it's right at dark. It's like 4:45, 4:50, and I see a head pop up from behind it. Well, she bails over. It's a big old doe, and then another one bailed over. And then a third one come up there and just stood there. It's like she bails over it. And I'm like, looking at them, and I look over there, and there's horns stick up from behind this tree. And I'm like, oh, that's a buck. Well, he bails over the tree, and he runs up and butts one of them right in the butt with the horns. And it's like an explosion. They just go everywhere. 2 of them run this way, and one goes in the woods, and then the buck follows them. I'm like, what just happened? This all went on like less than 4 minutes. And I'm like, never got a shot. And now it's dark. I can't see. So I seen 3 does and 1 buck.
We've had eventful, pretty good last few days. I mean, I killed for North Alabama, a really decent 8-point. I killed, was that Monday or Tuesday this week? I posted a picture on Woodwalkers. It wasn't one I'm not going to have a shoulder mount. I thought about it and just really didn't want to spend $450 to have a shoulder, so I'm going to get it European, just a skull mount. I've let a bunch of deer go this year. I mean, a bunch of them. Yesterday, was it? Day before yesterday, I had 15 deer in the same field at the same time, nothing to shoot, and I had 2 deer ran by my Jeep in the pine thicket that I was sitting in. They ran couldn't have been over 30 feet. I heard one run through the thicket behind my Jeep, and just a few seconds behind it, I heard another one running, and the second one was chasing it, and it was a buck blatant. They'll just So they ran from my left to my right and ran past me and went down in there. And then just a few minutes later, they came back, went right back by my Jeep, which, like I said, I couldn't see them. And I'm thinking, just come out in the wood, or come out of the woods, go out in the field, go out in the field, go out in the field. I kept hoping and praying the doe was going to turn and go out in the field and drag that buck out there, but she whirled and went up over the hill away from me. But so that was 2 more that I knew I could count 15 at one time, and then the other 2. So, we pretty good. I mean, it's.
I know they must have went to moving this season pretty good, because when I was up on the hunt club, when I figured out the brakes were about to go out on the truck, when I got to the clubhouse, there was a couple of guys on the club, and I actually heard both them guys shooting. They were in 2 different areas, so that was a little after 4. So I had planned to hunt, but when them brakes went out on that truck, I said I might want to ease out of here. And
Yeah.
I still had a little brake, but I mean, I about had to stand on it to stop it.
That ain't good. You needed a big tow strap and anchor. You just throwed it out the window.
Yeah, there you go. Big old hook or something, grab a tree every now and then. So.
Yeah.
But I made it all right. That coming down that last hill on the hunt club is one, it does, it back there does that for about 60, 70 foot.
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous with that one. I said, oh boy, but I put the truck in lowest gear it'd go, and it just creeped itself down the hill. So
yeah.
But, I'll crawl up under there in the morning and see if I can find a leak or what went on.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, I'll go ahead and tell this. I've had some knocks this week in the woods. Heard a scream. It was pretty good ways off.
I had one yesterday.
Yeah. What'd you have yesterday?
I had 2. The first one was loud. It sounded like somebody hit a tree with a baseball bat. And the second one was a little further off, so it made it sound softer. But if you've ever heard them before, you can tell the difference. And there was no doubt about the first one. The second one was so far off, I couldn't really tell if it was a knock or if it was just a limb breaking. The first one was a knock. I mean, it was probably less than 100 yards from me in the woods. And
they probably this rain front, coming in tonight, and there's supposed to be a cold front right behind them. So imagine the boogers are probably feeding just as hard as everything else is probably. And of course, if the deer is moving, I imagine them boogers are sitting there waiting, And
well, it's like
Greg, question.
Okay.
It's on the screen.
What is it?
Look here. Look, I've got to get a picture made. I told Parker last night, I got to get my darn picture made. And like I told y'all, I've got to hurry up and do it because I'm pretty bad sure that the thing's going to get took away from me. And the shirt's so dang snazzy. I hate to even wear it because I'm like horrible with clothes. I'll ruin clothes. I mean, that shirt's so cool. I really want to just like put it on some like gold-plated hanger and hang it up in one of the bedrooms at the man cave.
That, or you could get it like when you own these lives, have it back there behind you hung up or something.
What I need to do, I need this lay it right here.
There you go.
We need this 8 mask. We just put it on it like we had a booger sitting here wearing one of the shirts.
Yeah, I see it. It's hey, I meant to ask you something now. You like cast iron a lot too.
A lot.
And
Y'all, we talking freeze dryers in the comments.
Freeze dryers. Well, yeah. That's something I don't know much about. Now,
I know a good bit about them because
I know you do. You get starting at 4-H teacher stuff.
Yep. Because we got one in at the extension office. So
I'm ready to buy a freeze dryer because we was looking at one of the little old convenience stores just right up the road here, about a mile yesterday or a mile and a half. They had these Ziploc bags in there, had freeze dried gummy worms. There was 5 gummy worms in one bag. That was it. Now, them things would blow up that big around about that long.
Yep.
I counted every pack. There was 5. Not 6, not 5.5. There was 5 in every pack. $5.99 for 5 stinking gummy worms.
Greg, come down to Childersburg. We got a freeze dryer at work. You can use my discount.
Golly, y'all. I mean, so we bought $100 worth of regular gummy worms. We'd make $100,000 off of them. Or I mean, what's the deal here?
They good. That's what's the deal.
Well,
the freeze dryer is $4,000. So they trying to get their money back. Those vacuum sealed bags too are expensive.
Really?
Yep. And the machine, the freeze dryers.
I'm just gonna have to chew regular gummy worms. I ain't giving $6.
I like the regular gummy worm. So the freeze dryers are $4,000. They've got the oil that you have to change out in the pump after so many uses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an awesome thing, but it takes at least 24 hours to run one batch of stuff, and it's not big pans. And we messed up and did tomatoes, onions, and rosemary in one batch in separate pans, and anything strong flavors everything in there.
Really?
Could you freeze dry meat?
I don't know if you freeze dry meat or not. Why?
Yes, you can freeze dry meat.
Yeah.
Really?
Like jerky? Would it be like jerky or would it be
it'd probably be fluffed up.
It would be raw meat.
Yeah.
With all the moisture pulled out.
Yeah.
So you would have to reconstitute it to cook it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make a real one.
thaw out?
It wouldn't thaw. There's no thawing to it.
It doesn't thaw.
No, it ain't froze after it does it. It's just like that old you not remember going to Space and Rocket Center when we was kids and getting freeze-dried ice cream?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you could do meat, it would last forever if it's freeze-dried.
I don't know.
Right.
But how
you want to cook it before you freeze dry it.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. How would you do that?
Yeah. You cook it before you freeze dry it typically, but there's people out there freeze drying eggs, and then that just like the powdered eggs that you buy, you reconstitute it and then cook with it. Yeah. That's how you do the meat. You just add the water back to it and then cook it. But I don't know how well it would cook. So most people are cooking it beforehand.
Y'all remember back in, what was it, in the 70s or so? This is definitely changing the subject. Y'all remember when some of the school systems, they used to do canning for people in the fall?
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like the school, like the home ec building and stuff, they would come around and they would actually help people can their stuff.
Mm-hmm. We have classes through the extension office here, but ever since COVID, it's been Zoom classes. I love the cup.
Ain't that snazzy? Look at I'm ashamed to say that.
I've got a bunch of designs that I need to make.
I can't remember. Somebody gave me this cup, and I can't remember who.
Mark.
Who?
Mark give you
Mark
one.
Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay, my buddy Mark. I was just fixing to shout out thank you to whoever it was that gave me this, because this is like my favorite mug. But
yeah, we got to get a price on some cups and mugs, and
because I love printing them.
We got some people that's interested, and we got the machine to do it. We just got to order the cups, and you have to order a bunch of cups at one time
to get a good price.
Get a good price. And stainless steel cups ain't cheap, I tell you.
That made me think about it. You're talking about that. I noticed on that there's a thing on my Facebook page that I shared. It's a place over here in Haleville, Alabama. They do that camo sale.
Yep.
Make a lot of that camo clothing over here, and they sell all kind of stuff. Really, really good prices. But they were having the tumblers and stuff like that. They'll have those things for like $5 a piece. And that's
nice.
It's tomorrow from like 8 to 5 tomorrow, or 10 to 5 or something. But
man.
They'll have like camo hoodies. They'll have like bibs and jackets or coveralls. They'll have all kinds of camo stuff, and that stuff is marked down. Oh my gosh, a lot.
Now, where's this at?
It's in Haleville, Alabama. Here.
It's actually a factory that makes the stuff.
Yeah, they make a lot of that stuff there.
And stuff they've left that's been left over from their selling to like Walmart stuff this year, and they try to sell it all off at a discounted price.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of times they'll have like long sleeve camo t-shirts and stuff, be like $5 a piece.
Jackets, bibs.
Yeah, all kind of stuff like that. It's a big camo sale. But anybody, they can go on my Facebook page and look. It's just like a shot of the ad for it. But I mean, anybody in North Alabama, y'all, there's a lot of stuff they have.
You ever heard of Bear Cutlery?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're over in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And they have a knife sale once a year. And they'll mark down, especially like the knives that are seconds or thirds.
Yeah.
It might be a little nick on a handle or inscription may have got messed up. And
yeah,
I'll try to remember when they do that and let y'all know, because you can go over there, you get, Bear's pretty good knife. It's,
that used to be like what, Bear and Son or WF Bear and Son or something. What was it?
Something like that. I can't remember, but they call it Bear Cutlery now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's right there, right outside of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think some of their knives.
Now, a freeze dryer is something me and Rebecca's been really thinking about, but that's a big investment. I mean,
it's a big investment, and it is. I have not decided if it's worth it for the home use.
Yeah.
Because you get such a little amount per batch. And that batch is at least 24 hours.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking about too. Let's just say like this. If you were going to put that food up to live on, I mean, 5 stinking gummy worms took up a pack this big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be
most everything doesn't explode that big. I mean, it does kind of, how freezing something makes it get a little bigger. The size of it depends on how much moisture is actually in it. So
I'll tell you what, Rebecca, it made me think of, have you saw where the people that they have a business that, like, if your pet, your dog, cat, whatever, you got a pet mongoose, whatever you got, if that thing dies, they will pose it, groom it, whatever, and freeze dry it. And that thing comes out like it's made like out of porcelain. I mean, it's like forevermore, like in its exact position. If y'all seen that?
Yeah. I have not.
I haven't seen that.
Look that up online, but they freeze dry your pet. Like if your dog gets sick, falls over, croaks out, whatever. I watched the episode. They would put them on like they wanted like their little doggy bed. They would arrange them and hold the body in position like they were asleep. Put them in this dang big freeze dryer, and it would freeze dry that dog. And when it come out, it didn't hardly weigh nothing other than basically the skeleton and the hair and all that, because the meat, there was no moisture in it. But that dog, they could just like put it on a shelf like it was, like taxidermied, but it wasn't actually taxidermied. It was the actual dog, but it was freeze dried.
I ain't never seen that.
I hadn't either.
I've heard of people, having their pets, taxidermy before, but I ain't never heard that before.
Miss Bama has seen that.
That's interesting. I just don't know if I'd want to keep my pet around though. I don't know. That's me. I think I'd rather, remember it when it was alive and come walking in the house every day looking at it or something. It ain't like a deer or something that you harvest.
Yeah.
So, because didn't they, what was it, Trigger? They taxidermied?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's in a museum somewhere, if I remember correctly. I can't remember.
There's a guy up here toward Coleman. He had a business up here. They made a lot of stuff to go with like poultry farms and stuff. He made these vent boxes that would open up to like let air into the poultry houses, and then they would open and shut and all this. No guy made a lot of money. But he had a complete full-size mule. The whole thing stuffed, and it was standing like in the front of that business like it was looking out the window at cars going by. But he had a complete mule taxidermied, and I don't know what the deal with the mule was. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Hey, did I see somebody had a birthday?
Well, there's some debate about this birthday thing now. So Barry Browning had a birthday apparently.
Okay.
But then
Michael saying that Pyro had
but it's not this Pyro.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I don't know.
Well, if Barry Brown, and if he's in here, happy birthday.
See it.
I didn't.
Well, I noticed that Ray Doll had a birthday this week. She turned to be 7-0, y'all. That floors me. Wow.
Really?
Yeah. That's what she said. I think that's what she said.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. That's
I guess we're going to have to start
what
trying
Joe
to keep
just
up with
said.
everybody's birthdays better.
Yeah.
We good. We counting backwards on
But now
mine
you and Rebecca's going to get to have the birthdays at the LBL.
Yeah. We're going to have a big 5-0. Talking about
I'm maybe 48.
look, I'm 50 going on 90.
Hey, the 5-0 goes by quick. You ain't even got to worry about it.
Oh,
It does.
the first 49 did too.
Yeah. Y'all, I just feel like I've been burning the candle at both ends and right up the middle with a blowtorch.
That's it.
That's
it. I know what you
That's
mean.
it.
The sad part, you start
We'll
out
have to.
real slow, but as you get older, the years go by a whole lot quicker.
We'll have to figure out what best cake for you and Rebecca that weekend.
What's
your favorite?
Here's the thing, Rebecca, we got to have a big cake because guess what? I've not had a cake with my name on it in 11 years. Because guess what? My baby girl Abby has got the same birthday I got. So we've had all kind of cake, anything from My Little Pony to whatever, Power Rangers. You know, my birthday hadn't counted in 11 years. So,
But
let's sound like we're going to have.
And I haven't counted my birthday in 49 of them.
you know.
Hey, what better birthday gift could you get than get a baby girl?
Yeah, I mean, look, that was over the moon for a birthday present. I got that. But, you know, I hadn't. My birthday.
Need some recognition somewhere.
It's been unobserved for like 11 years. So I'm okay. We're good. But, yeah. Hey, but hey, we need us a Bigfoot cake's what we got. I mean, that's the only thing we can do is a Bigfoot cake. And, yeah.
Bring a cake. You go ahead. It's aloe and Mushi.
What are you getting for your birthday, Rebecca?
Do what?
What are you going to get for your birthday?
Same thing I've got in the past 49. Absolutely not a thing.
Oh, you get stuff. What are you talking about?
Oh, Lord. Listen at him. Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm really not a big birthday person. I grew up in foster care. My birthday didn't matter. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, we need to make this
here.
Yeah,
y'all.
We're going to make this.
So, how many of y'all on this channel remember Mushi? And how we talked about how Mushi had disappeared. Mark, take sister to the other room for now.
Rebecca, I hardly remember what I ate like 20 minutes ago. If it wasn't for heartburn, I wouldn't have. I probably forgot.
Yes. Oh, we'll bring her here. So, y'all, when we went to Kentucky, we came home and Mushi was missing. And guys, we saw somebody had posted her on Facebook last night. She's ill. Hey, Mushi. Hey, Mushi. Hey, Mushi. Look here, y'all. Come on out.
It makes me look like if that was me, I'd just have like an imposter cat. And by the time I'd done that, the thing would be
So she's here. Mushi has found her way back home finally. Since June. Longer, April.
I'm reading Misty
So,
right now. Misty's concerned that that's probably like a skinwalker in hiding.
this is not a skinwalker in hiding. We're just glad to have this baby back home. So we're going to put her in the bathroom. And I'll have a litter box in there, so you have to go get one out of the garage. There's litter in them, though.
Where?
In the utility room.
You covered that?
Abby asked what was its name.
Garage.
So y'all hang on. We're having a moment. That is Mushi, the cat. We always had her in our videos sitting up on top of the post, looking around.
We'll let you shut the door, Ellen, and then I'm gonna put the system back.
Just give us a second.
All right.
We're just glad Mushi's back home. I mean,
Y'all's dogs
Y'all-
dogs don't mess with the cats or anything.
sister was raised by Mushi, basically.
Okay.
I mean,
She'll know-
seriously.
She'll know her smell.
We're just going to get her here and let her settle in before we
She already
start
knows she's
remembering. Yeah. Sister remembers her
Yeah.
because sister was taught how to hunt up moles and birds when she was a puppy because Mushi did that sort of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we are quite happy right now because that's our baby kitty.
Yeah. Y'all, Pyro asked how far did she get? What was it y'all figured out? How many miles a while ago?
She was on the other side of Creepy Mountain on the river. So from here to Creepy Mountain's 2 miles, across Creepy Mountain's 9 miles, and from the river to Creepy Mountain, from the Creepy Mountain over the river is about 4. So you're talking
9 to 15 miles.
Yeah. So
And is that as the crow flies or down the road?
that'd be as the crow flies.
Yeah, that's as the crow flies, guys. So
And,
we don't know how that happened, but Mark always said back then that he hoped that nothing got her and killed her. And I said, I don't think she got killed. I feel like she's just gotten relocated. I kept thinking she drove in the back of the truck because she's done that before. She's hopped up in the back of the truck and rode with us.
Yeah.
And the first time she did it, it was in the back of a trailer where we hauled leaves basically down the road back to his mama's house. It wasn't but like around the block technically.
Yeah.
And she hopped out of the leaves when we arrived. Well, the next time she did it that we know about, I had driven from our house to my bank and then across the road to Mark's bank and then back to the feed store. And she jumped out at the feed store. Scared the tar out of me because then I had to try and find her and catch her again. But yeah, when we found her missing that day after the trip, I said she hitched a ride and went somewhere. She had to have. I have never believed that she was gone. So I am just so happy Mushi come back home.
It's probably been 15 years ago. I was going hunting before daylight one morning. Had a hunt club over in Marion County, which is about an hour from here. I was going down 278. There was a 4-wheel drive in front of me. No clue who it was. But anyway, we're trucking down one of them straightaways over there and probably running 65, 70 mile an hour. I'm in the zone rolling down through there watching this truck. My headlights is on. I can see the back of the truck even under it pretty good. And out of nowhere, it's like deploy a spike strip or something. It's a dadgum full-grown cat falls out from under where the spare tire hangs up. This cat hits the road. And y'all, that thing going whoopity, 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 whoopity down the highway about 65, 70 mile an hour and just scoots off the side. And when it hit the little rumble strips in the grass, old cat was skipping about chest high on me. Doopity, doopity, doopity. Where it went from there, I don't know. But now that'll get your attention bright and early in the morning before daylight. But now they said, they always said, cats got 9 lives. Look, he spent about 8 of them that morning if he made it.
He went through 8 of them that
Oh
day.
my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, I got a good scare here a while back. I had parked the truck out by the shop and left the windows down, and we were going somewhere. And me and Rebecca got in the truck, and of course we had sister with us. Well, sister just dived right on in the back seat.
Didn't think nothing about it.
And it's dark, outside, and all of a sudden I feel something on my shoulder. And it's a big old tomcat. He done been in the back seat of the truck. And boy,
he's more lanky than big.
Well, it about scared me half to death. I thought old coon or something was climbing me. And it bailed right on out the window. But boy, I about had a heart attack over that.
I'm still upset to this day because he got to pet the darn cat before I did.
Well, the whole time me growing up, me and cats had our understanding. We didn't like each other. I mean, it's just come natural. I mean, dogs and stuff. I've never had a problem with dogs. I've been to people's houses. They'd have dogs that was mean. I can get out and talk to them. They'll let me go right by them. I've never had a problem with dogs. Now, cats, I can walk around a cat and that son of a gun act like it's a lion. I don't know why. And the feeling's mutual. I'm not a cat person. They too clingy and needy, and they want to like get all up on you. No, I can't cut that. I just can't.
It's kind of like
I like cats.
Had a whole bunch of guineas when we was growing up, but he never could figure out why they kept coming up missing.
Shh, be quiet.
He'd go buy 10 or 12 of them at a time, and they'd last a couple months. Then he'd have to go buy some more. Them are the worst animals that's ever been. Is a guinea. What do you call it? A guinea chicken?
I just call them guineas. I don't know what they are. I hate them stupid things. Ain't nothing good about them, but just making noise and racket.
And if you walk up on them, it's like they go nuts.
That he had guineas and he had dadgum geese. I hated them stupid geese. My God. I kept telling everybody, them geese better hope and pray that they outlive or that they don't outlive my daddy. I said, because look, as soon as my daddy's gone, we're going to have geese come up missing. I hated them stupid things.
I know. Mushi's home. I know. All right, y'all. We're getting back to our live. Bye, y'all.
One's helping us with the cats in here a minute. So
y'all come wave.
You don't want to come speak away.
Tears trying to come up.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, folks.
All right. Appreciate it. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you, Ella.
Huh?
Thank you.
Now you talking about geese.
Hi. You work tomorrow?
Oh, tame geese, boy, that can be a mean
11
rascal.
to 6.
And
Yeah,
they can be
about the crap out of you. I mean,
yeah.
they just
They'll
mean.
pinch you, baby.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will actually pinch a blister when they hit you.
I tell you what, they won't do that when you're holding a 357 Magnum. Fact.
Oh me. I
They,
tell you what now.
they think they're bad. They can't wait through that 158 grain jacket at Hollow Point. I promise. I know.
There's more than one that found that out. I promise.
Yeah.
That
I'm not about to be no victim.
you talking about guineas now. Far as now, they do get obnoxious with that noise they
Yes,
make.
they do.
Especially if you got a big flock. But I went out to Texas one time. A friend of mine's people cotton farmed out there in Texas. And, you know, when I was growing up here, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, a lot of people kept a lot of guineas. Most time, you know, the flock be 15, 20 birds at the most, you know. Half time they out in the middle of the highway somewhere. I don't know what it is, a guinea, but they love a highway.
Yeah.
But we went out to visit him in Texas, my buddy's cousins and uncle, and we turned on this long dirt road. I'm going to tell you, Texas has got some long dirt roads. I thought Alabama had some long dirt roads, but I'll say Texas got to beat big time on that. But we was going out through there, and they wasn't nothing but cotton fields. I mean, it just cotton fields. And we finally could see his place coming. And about that time, here come guineas out of one side of the cotton patch, and they started crossing the road. And they kept crossing the road. We had to stop, and there was guineas steadily coming out of there. And I know it had to be 150, 200 guineas. Well, they finally crossed, and we went on up to my buddy's people's house, and we got out, and of course, we were getting introduced. And I asked him, I said, why y'all got so many guineas for? He said, we buy them like crazy because we turn them loose in them cotton patches to eat, you know, bugs and stuff. Yeah. And he said, sometimes I'll have 200 or 300. He said, he told me, he said, I got about 150 out there now. And that just blew my mind, you know. And I just like, wow, you know, it just, because here I could imagine 150 guineas at one time. I'd be crazy after a few minutes, you know.
4 was bad, and we grew that to 8, and that's horrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
When I was a kid, I was probably, I guess I was probably 7, 8 years old. You know, I'd get home like this time of the year. I'd go in the house, 7, 8 years old, and get 22 rifle, and I'd hit the woods behind mom and daddy's house. You know, that's when kids could actually be kids, and they didn't hold you under their thumb. But I went in the woods. There was a field behind Mom and Dad's old house, and there was a scope of woods that went through there, and there was some pine trees. Well, I went between there and the neighbor's house, and that scope of trees was probably 100 yards wide, and then it went 400 or 500 yards back. Well, I'd go in there and try to kill some fox squirrels out of them pine trees. Well, I was in there right before dark one evening, and y'all, I got so scared it's wonder I didn't turn inside out. I didn't. I thought the whole damn booger man, the dadgum devil himself, was about to eat me. I'm off in them pines, kind of to the side of our neighbor's house, right before dark, and there's the most horrific, horrible scream, something going on. And y'all, I run back to the house. I thought my heart was going to explode. Guess what it was? My neighbor had got a dadgum peacock. Be off.
Oh.
You don't know what a peacock is? You're a damn country boy from Alabama, and you're off down in there and that peacock goes to hollering. Shit, I didn't know what was about to attack me.
It's like screeching metal.
When I was growing up, our next door neighbors had peacocks, and I used to get tickled when some of my friends would come over, and like we'd be sitting on the porch or something. That thing, they go wah-ha, it was like that, and I mean, rattle the place, buddy.
Oh,
and they'd be, what was that?
Yeah, I was off in them woods. I mean, here I was, I would say under 10-year-old. I'm off in them woods by myself, down there with a 22 rifle, and it's right at dark. I'm fixed to come out. And that thing, y'all, it couldn't have been over probably 50, 75 yards, and it screamed, and oh my God, I'm not kidding you. I thought I'm a goner.
Yeah, they will. They get up there, they put too like a turkey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's loud, boy. You're like, what in the world? And now the old peafowl, she's not as loud as the peacock, but she's not too bad. But yeah, I used to get tickled when people come visit us, and them things start going off, especially right there about 30 minutes before dark. It'd scare people half to death.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about 7, 8 to death.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing, like Rebecca said, a pheasant can make some weird racket, buddy.
Yeah.
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 They can make your skin crawl when he goes to doing his little talk or whatever he does.
They can make some racket. Oh,
Was it Dusty?
Yeah, Dusty, our buddy Dusty, his grandpa used to raise pheasant. He raised quail and pheasant and all that. And man, we used to have a lot of fun up there. That buddy of mine, one of my best buddies all through school, and his Cordell. Cordell used to, it was my buddy's grandpa. He used to raise, he raised fighting roosters. He raised, quail. He raised pheasants. We'd go up there, and he had this old chicken house that wasn't in use anymore, and that thing would have a pile of pigeons in it. Well, me and Dusty would go up there, and we'd shoot pigeons. We was up there one day, and his grandpa told us, he said, y'all boys go down on the other end of this chicken house. And he said, I'm going to walk on this end, and I'm going to throw a couple of these. He had some blocks of wood, like 2 to 6 blocks, probably 8 to 10 inches long. He said, y'all get down there. I'm going to heave these blocks up on top of that metal. When it makes that racket, all them pigeons going to fly out, and y'all boys cut them down. Okay. We're out there with these, we both got our shotguns. We're out there waiting on these pigeons to fly out of that chicken house. His grandpa heaves that block, and right before his grandpa threw that block of wood, one of his buddies had pulled up, and this man was so proud, and this is how stupid he was. He was so proud of his little car, his little fancy car was a dadgum Yugo, little Yugoslavian Yugo car. It was a 4-wheeled rolling turd wagon. He pulls that baby up beside the fence in his grandpa's yard. Well, he's walked over to where his grandpa was.
PJ.
He leaves this block of wood, and there's like a whole flock of pigeons come out of that barn. Well, I cut down, boom, 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 and I've got just pigeons are just dropping. Well, my buddy, they come around toward him, and he's like, boom, boom, boom. And there was one kind of dipped down, and it started coming back up. Well, my buddy, he cuts down on this low pigeon, and he shoots, hits the pigeon. But the majority of that shot goes right across the pond, right where that Yugo car is sitting. And you can just hear down the side of the metal, just whoosh.
Oh, man.
I thought his grandpa was going to kill me and him both. and he's over there apologizing to his buddy about his grandson shooting his car. It didn't hurt it though. I mean, but that's kind of par for the course. Oh, Al, right here. How many times you been shot?
With you?
I didn't shoot you.
No, but it was.
He been shot 4 times. It's like everywhere we would go on a dove hunt, it was like an annual. It was our annual. It wasn't just a dove hunt. It's like, let's go somewhere and let Al get shot.
The last time I got shot, he said, "Hey, I've got a friend of mine coming." I said, "Well, how good do you know him?" And that was kind of a saying between us because I'm one of those people. If I don't know you, I don't want to be around you hunting because I don't know what you're going to do.
Unless I'm going to stand right there by you.
Yeah. And I asked Greg, I said, have you ever been hunting with him? Well, no. I said, well, is he going to shoot low birds? No, he knows better. He knows better.
This guy worked with me. He worked with me in the gas company, and the boy talked a real good game, like he was a sure enough outdoorsman. He talked about hunting. I thought, well, he spent a lot of time in the woods, apparently, so he should be fine.
Go ahead and finish it. I'm going to get something to drink.
We get to the field. We'd actually drove all the way to Tennessee, not very far from where Roger lives. State of Tennessee, they lease out a lot of the property and open up private land, public for hunters to hunt, and that's freaking glorious. Hooray, Tennessee. Talk to Alabama, tell them what to do because our state don't do it. But anyway, we go up there and we're hunting. Some of them guys show up. We're out there in the field. A couple of doves fly over. Al and the buddy I was talking about a while ago, Dusty, are standing over by the truck. Me and Brent are out in the field. Brent's on past me a little bit. A dove comes over. I cut down on it. Boom, boom. And the dove folds up and starts down. Right before it hits the ground, it starts fluttering. The dadgum dove, y'all, is like waist high. And it's just fluttering. And it's trying to go back up. It's just sitting there. Oh, Brent's over here about 15 yards from me. And I look, see him move. He levels the shotgun down. And I'm screaming, whoa, low bird, low bird. Boom. When he shoots right in front of me about 15 feet, he shot so low that the tops of the corn stalks was splintering. The corn was cut, like knee high. He's cutting corn stalks off right in front of me. And the shot goes right, thank God, right past me. And it centers, oh, wow. Him and Dusty didn't get hit, but the shot ate Al's legs up. He saw what was happening and turned his back to it. He had 4 pellets in the calves of his legs. It went through his pants. It was buried up in the meat. I'm not about didn't hit him, bounce off. I'm not about there in his legs. He's over there writhing on the ground in pain. I go to Al and I'm cussing Brent, telling him, this how he is. Well, we'll get a Al over there on the dang tailgate. Now, safety first. I took my buck pocket knife with a needle tip, alcohol to fire out of it, and I dug 4 pellets, 4 7.5 12 gauge pellets. I dug out his legs. I'd mash him things like a big old pimple and get them up to the top, and I'd flip them out. But I dug pellets out of you, about 4 years?
You dug
4 and about 6.
Up there in Tennessee where I got
That's
shot
what I'm talking about. Yeah, he got shot in the belly in Tennessee, too. Some kid shot him in the belly up there. It's like, you're all right if you go hunting, just don't stand real close to Al because if somebody's going to get shot, wait on him.
Al, did you not learn not to go with him no more?
It wasn't my fault.
We went to
But he was with you.
we go to the fair one time and pay $35 a piece to hunt this famous dove hunt. We get there at like 6:30 in the morning. We don't see.
We're getting a good spot. It don't open till 12. We got there early.
We got there before anybody else. We don't see a bird all day. So right at evening, it's done.
We had some. What do you label those? It would be like a
invasive. Which one is more dangerous?
Species came in.
Yeah,
the invasive species came in, and we started shooting these invasive species that were eating crops.
Everybody had left, and like a couple
we had a guy walk about 500 yards across the field. He goes, "Y'all know that ain't doves, right?" Like, yeah. Why y'all killed them? I said they're eating crops. It's a nuisance animal. Oh, okay. And the guy walks about 500 yards away. We had the nuisance animals stacked up. The pickup truck wouldn't haul them. We bird hunted a lot for a long time. We used to go to Tennessee a 3 times a year. And really, y'all, Tennessee, that's freaking awesome on them. I mean, they do. I mean, they get those farms and open them up. They open them up to the public. I mean, it's private land, but the state gets that and opens it up. Oh, look at there, Misty.
Yeah. There for a while.
That's where I was with it. I'm not so sure it's all Al that's the one not to be around. I put 2 and 2 together and come up with Greg.
I'm not the one guys got.
There for a while.
Oh,
though.
he was with you.
He's our good luck charm. We take him because we know if somebody's got to get shot, it's all the odds are it's going to be him.
Yeah.
He handles it well. I wouldn't
And
handle
you gonna take that?
I can't handle it anymore. I'm not as big as I used to be.
it.
I used to have a lot of padding. I don't anymore.
Mm-mm.
It made a big difference.
Y'all, me and Al,
Oh, my goodness.
we could absolutely write a book. I don't know that anybody'd buy the damn thing, but if it was free, there'd be a lot of people get a shitload of laughs because if we tried to market it, there's no way that we could make anybody believe any of it. And it would just be, but if we ever got them hooked, we got them to hear one good story or two, we'd have them, but we wouldn't have much luck with it.
I'm gonna tell you, I've never told this much, but I'm deathly afraid of heights. Climbing a ladder stand, deer hunt just literally scares me to death. Okay, so our buddy Eric, he won't climb a ladder. He's not going to do it. So they get me over there, and we're trying to help Eric hang his ladder stand. It's 2x4. It's old timey. You climb up there and you sit on the platform. We build it, lean it against the tree. All I have to do is climb up there, drive 4 nails in.
This was epic.
Go ahead and finish it. I can't.
Al is up on this tree. We're holding this ladder stand, and the stand was actually made out of 16 foot 2x6, so it's 16 foot high. Al's up there, and he's got a hammer, and he's drove a nail, and he's trying to pull this nail back out, and he's standing on the ladder, leaning over the platform, and he's doing this, and it's nearly dark. We're trying to get done, and all of a sudden, the hammer comes flying to the ground. He's up there screaming and yelling and cussing. And we're like, what is it? And all of a sudden, there's stuff dripping. So what is he doing? Oh, I've cut my hand. He gets down, and somehow, as he's pulling, he's got his hand in the way, and the head breaks off the nail, and the claw of the hammer comes back and hits his thumb. And it's like nearly amputated his own thumb with the claws on this hammer. So we're trying to talk him down, trying not to bleed to death and get him out of the stand. So we finally get him down, had to tape his hand up. But I'm telling you, if somebody's going to get hurt, the accident will wait till he gets
Well, what he's not telling you, they made me go back up there and finish down the ladder stand up.
Well, you wouldn't know.
See?
Like I said, and you keep taking
Hey, y'all need to what's the 2 dudes that have the hunting show and they always get into stuff?
TK and Mike, man, golly. Yeah, that was
Y'all need to have
dude.
Greg and Al going.
For anybody that never heard it, y'all go back and listen to some of the episodes and some of the encounters me and Al's had with these boogers. They just skip back over to the serious business for a minute. The encounters that me and him lived through with these boogers, a lot of the encounters that I've had that's been horrible, scary, terrible. Al's been right there with me on most of them, at least within just a couple 100 yards. He was hearing what the boogers was doing. I mean, he can vouch for what I've told y'all. But y'all, back on the lighter note, we've just done crazy stuff in the woods, and a few times it'd get exciting, sometimes it wouldn't. But we was laughing about it today, talking about all these guys that'll get on all these Facebook pages, these hunting pages, and they're talking about, well, what round do I need to shoot, or what gun, what caliber's best, blah 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 blah. I don't want to have to track deer, y'all. Deer, it don't matter if you're shooting them with a 9mm or if you're shooting them with a bazooka. It depends on what mood that deer's in and how much adrenaline they got pumping. And it makes a big difference on where you hit that deer. but you could hit 10 different deer in the same spot, the same way with the same gun, and odds are you're going to get a different outcome. It more depends on what that deer's mood is when he comes in. If he's out there eating grass, ain't got a care in the world, he ain't spooked, excited, nothing, you shoot that deer with a slingshot and he'll stiff leg and fall over in 99. That deer comes in, he's done jittery, spooked, wind's blowing, he's nervous, he's chasing does, he's full rut, his adrenaline's pumping. You shoot that deer with a 300 Win Mag or a 338 Lapua, he's liable to run 350 yards, running dead with his heart broke apart. Here's the deal. These people are talking about that. Man, I was talking about how, you can't tell these people, and they're going to have to learn themselves. And all these guys talk about, well, I've got a blah, blah, blah. Just name your caliber. I mean, I could find you a statement somebody's made with about any caliber you want to name. They're going, well, I've never had a deer run off. I shot it with this. Well, I can tell you what. Whoever made that statement has never killed very many deer. I promise you. I don't care who you are or what you're shooting. If you shoot enough deer, they'll be dead and they'll run dead. A deer can run about 18 seconds without breathing, without his heart working, and without a breath. About 18 seconds, it'll take that deer to die. That is a well-known fact. You can look it up. A deer can run about 250 yards in 18 seconds. That deer, if he can be shocked unless you break bone, cripple him up, he can be running with his heart blowed apart. I've done it to him, seen him run. Anyway, me and Al are over here where we had some much booger stuff happen on the 40 that my cousin had. He was in the upper field that he liked to hunt. I went down to the lower field, went out of the field, kind of where I heard the booger come in, that looked to see if I was in the stand, and then went down and I heard the other booger coming, and they got to jabbering back and forth. I don't remember if it was before or after that. Anyway, it wasn't right the same time frame. But anyway, I had went out of that grain field. It was in the morning, and went kind of below the cane break where I could see there was a hollow that went down back up. It was about this time of year here where we live right now is full-blown rut. Well, I get down there and I'm leaning against this tree with my Browning 30-06 semi-automatic, and I've got my rifle just leaning, and I'm leaning against this poplar tree, just watching down through the big hardwoods. Got my rifle clamp, I ease my grunt call up, and I hit that grunt call. Just it's two shorts and a long, just just as I did that, about 150 yards straight ahead of me, running parallel with the river, I hear a deer come running. I'm talking about he's tearing the woods down, coming to me. Well, I get to where I can see him, and I pull my rifle up, and I'm propped against this tree, and I'm looking. I've got my scope cranked down to like 3 or 4 power. The lower magnification, the wider field of view you got. So if you're going to have to do some quick shooting, especially in woods, you turn it down, and it widens there at the field of view. I've got it cranked down, and I'm looking, and I'd look over and look back, and this buck, I can see his horns, and he's running, coming straight at me. I watched this buck run up and headbutt a tree about that big, like a little dogwood. And his horns just go whop, 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 whop. And he'd back up, and he'd hit it again, and he backs up. Here he comes. Boogity, boogity, boog. He's coming at me, and I'm like, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. He hits another one. He butts that thing, looks like a billy goat. He's just thrashing his tree, and he's grunting. He's mad. I mean, tore up, teed off horribly. There's the main hillside went down to the river, but then there's a cut that comes this way. It's just a little straight draw that comes down, and from up here to here, from hillside to hillside, it's probably 60 yards.
Yeah.
And it goes down probably like from here to the bottom is probably 35-foot elevation. Think of being, if you're up here down to the bottom, it's like you're on top of a power pole. It's just straight off. Little branch that comes down. That buck comes running at me, and he gets right on the other side, and I'm thinking he's going to go down and come right to me. The son of a gun turns, and he's running parallel on this ridge. Well, I just get on and flip the safety, and I'm going with him, pull the trigger. I see this buck. It doesn't look like I've cut a hair. I'm aiming at the front shoulders, and it looks like I hadn't cut a hair. The gun recoils. I get right back on it, and he's still. And look, he went from running to flying. I mean, trucking. I'm going with him, and I pull the trigger again, and he runs right behind a poplar tree about that big. I say the bark explode. The gun recoils. I'm right in the scope still. Boom. Now, these 3 shots were like boom, boom, boom. The 3rd shot, he crumples, and he falls on this slope. He starts barrel rolling. It looked like you shoved a trash can. Bloop, 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 bloop. And he lands in this branch at the bottom. So I'm looking down at him. The son of a gun starts thrashing his head, jumps up. I swear, looks straight up the hill at me, and he starts digging. It's like his hooves was digging in, and he's running straight at me with his horns down. I draw the rifle back up. I shoot this thing less than 20 feet, hit him right here, and he rears up and falls backwards. Bloop, 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 back down the hill. Now look, I fired 4 shots. At this point, I've hit this deer 3 times. He rolls back down the hill, lands in this water, in this branch, cold water. He lands in the branch, looks like a basketball. He thrashes about twice and jumps up. Boom! The 5th shot out of that rifle, it slams his body into the dirt bank on the other side. And he's just like slinging his head. My rifle's empty. It only holds 5 shells. I've hit this deer 4 out of 5 shots with a 30-06. I'm sitting there with my gun's empty. I start to reach for some shells. He starts moving. I just sling the rifle on my shoulder, reach under my arm, and pull out that Smith & Wesson 357 that I carry everywhere. I pull it out and back the hammer, and I'm going, boom, click, click, boom, click, click, boom, click, click. I fire 6 shots out of this revolver. I hit this deer 5 times out of 6, and he is running down this hollow going away from me. From the first shot, when I shot this deer, he's probably 20 yards or so, maybe from where I'm at.
Yeah.
The last shot, he's about 65, 70 yards down the branch. The last final shot, I started trying to shoot him in the head, and I hit him right below the head in the back of the neck right there, and that broke his spine, and he collapsed. Less than, 10 minutes? I hear him whistle. And I'm sitting there just standing up here at the tree watching this deer. It's like, oh my God, what in the world just happened? Y'all, I fired 11 rounds, counting the rifle and the pistol. Y'all, you couldn't have counted 25 Mississippi, maybe, probably less than that. I could not. It was just like, I couldn't make him die. He just kept running and running. He was mad. He was jacked up on adrenaline. And I'm poking holes in him because here's the deal. The more holes I got, the more blood's going to fall out. They're a whole lot easier to track. He whistles at me, and I holler back at him. He's like, are you okay? Yeah. Man, I thought the booger man got you. I said, no. He's like, man, I thought you said shoot your way out. I didn't know. He said, man, you scared me to death. He's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to kill this deer laying out here. He said, what is it? I said, I don't know. It's a rack bug. I said, it's laying way down there. I said, we'll just have to get it out. He's like, dadgum, could you not hit the thing? So we wind up. I had a Suzuki Samurai. It was cowmoed, and we'd built the motor in it, and it was souped up. We go get the Samurai. We go back. Instead of having to drag this deer out, we drive the Samurai off the hillside. Now, you tell them the rest of that.
We pull up to this, where it's at, in this little holler. It's not bottom of a hill, you know how they'll come in and then everything grows right there. There's pine trees that's probably anywhere from 2 inches to 4 inches around. I'm like, how in the world are we going to get in there? Greg's like, we're just going to drive over and we'll pull up to him, load it up, and we'll drive out. I'm like, we can't get over those pine trees. Oh, yeah, we'll just ride them over. So we ride a couple of them over. And you got to remember, at this time, me and Greg probably weighed what?
I was probably 325 and you was 3-something.
I was 3-something. 340, 350.
We looked like 2 peanuts in a hole in that damn Suzuki Samurai.
We were so close, our elbows was hitting in the middle. That's how close we were. So he hits this one and runs up on it. Tree doesn't move. He backs up. I was like, what are you going to do? He said, we're going to ride it over. And he puts it in first gear and dumps the clutch. And when he rides up on it, the Samurai stands straight up and it's hung up. I'm talking about hung up. I'm like, what in the world are we going to do now?
Yeah, I stood it up on the tree, y'all. We in this like miniature Jeep, that Samurai, and the pine rode a little bit, and then it kind of bounced back. It stood us straight up. We looked like we was taking off in the damn space shuttle. And he's over there going, "What are we gonna do now?" I said, "Hold on." No, you tell him now. I'm just gonna add a little bit here and there in case you forget something.
So he starts rocking it, and I'm like, "You're gonna flip us over backwards." He's like, "No, I can't flip over. We're hung up on the hitch." It had like on the old station wagons where they had that metal hitch that actually stuck out a little bit. We was hung up on it. So he'd rock it forward and then go over a little bit. He'd rock it forward and then go over a little bit. And it'd swing back, and then when it come over, he slammed it in reverse and backed us off of it. Finally got us unhung. I'm like, "We can't go forward." He's like, "What? I'll just turn it around, we'll back them."
Worked, didn't it?
It did, but it took him like 3 times. And the last time he run up on it, and we was like high centered. So we'd sit there, and I was like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" He said, "Rock side to side." So we got to rocking side by side, and the back tire would catch a little bit and pull us down. And finally got over fun enough to where we backed all the way over this tree, and it flipped up. We loaded the deer up, and I'm like, "How in the world are we gonna get out of here now?" He's like, "We're gonna go up through that hill right there through the briars." I'm like, "Oh Lord." So we backed all the way up that hill and got to the top. And he found a little spot where he could turn around and go forward. And we drove right. He made a new road coming out of there in that little Samurai, man. And the deer loaded on.
Oh man. We got that deer back to my house. Y'all, wait. We got back to my house and we got it hung up in my skinning shed. And I've got a fully enclosed 12 by 14 building that's concrete floored with a drain, a winch, water power, heat to clean game in. Well, we get this deer hung up, and about the time we get it hung up, now this ordeal, it took us a while for all this to happen and take place. We get it hung up. Well, the guy that used to hunt with us, they had wound up hunting some land across the river down about a half a mile. We heard some gravel popping, and Al said, "I wonder who that is." I said, "I don't know." Well, the old buddy of ours, Dale, he pulls up. He's like, "What'd you kill?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I heard you shooting this morning." I said, "You heard me shooting? How you know it was me?" He said, "I told old Ethan here, said, there ain't not but one son of a gun around here shoot like that, and it's Greg." He said, "What'd you shoot?" Now this a while goes, God dang, he touched him off this morning. He's like, "What'd you kill?" I said, "What was it, 6 or 7 point? Whatever it was, 7 point." I said, "I got a 7 point." I said, "How'd you know it was me?" He said, "By God, you shot 5 times with that rifle. Then you shot 6 times with that pistol." He said, "When I heard all them shells, I knew exactly who that was shooting." He said, "There ain't nobody around I've ever seen that could shoot like that." He said, "Where's it at?" I said, "It's hanging up." He got in there and they went over there with a fine tooth comb. Out of the 9 rounds, like I said, I missed it twice. And out of them rounds, I fired six with the pistol, and hit it 5 out of 6, and I hit it 4 out of 5 with the rifle. So I fired 11 rounds and hit it 9. He starts counting. That thing was hit. Every shot was from the front part of the rib cage, lungs, to its neck. Every shot that hit that deer should have been a lethal hit. But it took 9 rounds to kill it. It was probably dead the first shot. It's just that I wasn't going to take a chance that it was going to run off and get away because the river was right there, and I was afraid it was going to get in the water and sink or whatever.
The funny part was Dale told Ethan, was his son. He said, "See, I told you Greg killed that deer."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was it. We've been on a lot of adventures. It's just like when we got ready to bush hog this year over here. I told Greg, I said, when me and you get together and we're trying to do something we need to do, it's always an adventure.
Oh yeah, we have like epic journeys. It's like Frodo, just we don't have a ring to go find.
That's the way it goes sometimes. Certain people you just get with, and boy, it just
look here. Walk around miserable. I mean, if if you're dealt a bad hand, you just got to make the best out of it. I mean, my God,
That's all you can do, ain't it?
yeah, you might as well have fun. I mean, if you're playing in crap, you might as well make a mud pie.
I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite adventures we went on was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Excuse me. Before Greg broke his leg, he was over bush hogging. His dad wasn't doing real good, and he drove up just to see what we had done, but he wasn't feeling good. And he said, "Do you mind driving me around so I can look and see?" I said, "No, sir, Mr. Jim." I used to call him Mr. Jim because, hell, he's like my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I'd be glad to." So me and him rode all over where we hunt, where Greg's bush hogging. And we finally went out. He said, "Well, I want to see where y'all put my new stand at." So I took him over and showed him, let him go open the door and get in, look around. He said, "Yeah, this will do just fine." And Greg's out there bush hogging. He's like, "Man, I know that tractor's beating him to death, but he needs to do it."
Yeah. He was pretty good about volunteering me for anything. It was horrible.
Yeah. But it was always, like I said, we grew up together, so it.
Yeah, I tell people that, I've got 3 brothers by blood, but I've got a couple more brothers that's adopted brothers. And I mean, like a while here when my dad's funeral, in the eulogy at the church, dad's funeral, it had me and my 3 actual brothers listed, and it had Al listed as adopted son, Alan White. So, yeah, just, me and Al's been like brothers for better part of probably close to 40 years.
Yeah, when my mother died,
yeah. Oh, his mother treated me like an extra son too. I mean, but me and him's we've been through it. There ain't no doubt, y'all, but we've had fun doing it, ain't we?
Well, we've been close enough to where when my mother passed away, she made a request to Greg, and I'm older than Greg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I swore to his mother that I think that was what she was waiting on. She didn't pass till she asked me, said, "Would you just please," said, I need you to look after Alan. And I swore to the woman, I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "I will." She said he ain't gonna have nobody when I'm gone. And said, said, "I need somebody to make sure he's took care of." I said, "Well, yes, ma'am. I wouldn't do anything except that."
Well,
so that's one of the reasons, other than there's several others, but me and Greg's been close since, hell, how long? Since we was 12-year-old?
Yeah, about 40 years or so, close to it. But yeah, but that's the thing about it, guys. If you don't have somebody in your life that you can depend on, or somebody that you think that, hey, there's my person that I can depend on and risk my life for, you need to find that person, because you're missing out. So what me and him was talking about, all that stuff we went into over here in these woods, these boogers. Y'all, it makes it a little easier to go back to the woods when you're going in there with somebody that you trust and, that's got you back. I mean, when that one was mad about the motorcycle, y'all, it was horrible. I mean, it was horrendous. And here I was, I come out when I finally thought the coast may be clear. I'm getting the hell out of here. When I stepped out, y'all, when I hit that gravel road and I looked, I seen, oh, wow, he'd come out of that stand he was in and come way around through there and was coming to me. He knew it wasn't good, but here he come. I mean, y'all, that says something when you hear something over there screaming and roaring and tearing the damn woods apart, and your buddies over there, and you don't just sit over here and hide. You're like, shit, I'm going to help him. We're going down together. I mean, it's all for one for all. But oh wow, y'all, I mean, that's the thing about it. He come, which I'd have done the same thing for him.
Oh yeah.
It was
you just gonna come get me that night and followed us out.
Yeah, I
was
fixing to drag your buddy from Birmingham in there, and he was like, "Well, he'll be all right, he'll be all right." I said, "No, we ain't. No.
And you've heard that story 100 times probably about when I brought my buddy up from Birmingham.
The motorcycle story.
But here's the biggest thing about that night after us telling him what might happen, what might not. As far as making a believer out of somebody, he never to this day, and you still can't get him to come up here and go, now he'll go dove hunting with us. but he won't go deer hunting. And he told us that night when we drove out of that road, he said, y'all are crazy. He said, y'all know what's in them woods and you keep coming back. And I said, well, I told you what could happen.
I told him.
And Greg set him down at the kitchen table and told him.
Yeah. Matter of fact, his exact words when we was coming out, he said, y'all know what the hell's down here? Y'all keep going back. Y'all crazy as hell. There's something wrong with y'all. Y'all crazy as hell. Y'all know that's down there and y'all keep going back. Yeah. I didn't disagree with him. We may have been crazy as hell. I mean, sometimes it takes some really soul searching to decide to go back, but we kept going back. I mean, I could tell people I'd get mad and I'd get scared, and you know, these things that scare the crap out of me. And I didn't take that very good when something scared me, because after I had time to think about it, I turned that fear into anger, and it just. But I don't like being scared. I didn't cope with that very well. And all we'd do is, it may take me a while to go back, but I kept going back. Now I'd arm up a little heavier and carry extra ammo and different flashlight, get a different rifle or something. But you know, I just want to make sure I could get in and out of the woods, or I'd try to go with somebody with me.
But the thing about it, when you get afraid and scared, that people need to realize really bad, if you're scared enough, you're going to panic in a situation like that, more than likely you're going to hurt yourself, or you're going to get hurt and be in a really bad way. If you have somebody you can depend on.
Yeah, you can't lose your cool. You can't get scared. I figure the worst thing you could ever do is take off running, like just running, screaming, oh God. And no, that would probably be a bad day all the way around.
We've had a couple situations over here that if we'd have panicked, we'd never made it out of the wood. I honestly believe that.
But I know what you're saying. I had to make my mind up about, Creepy Mountain,
Yeah.
I mean, I coon hunted and deer hunted up there, and I mean, you coon hunting, you up there with them and their time of the, when they're at the best.
Oh yeah.
And I finally just made my mind up. I swear, they've always been here. They hadn't bothered me, so I'm going to take a chance. And they're not going to bother me now. And been lucky so far, But, I didn't put myself in bad situations with them either. Well, a few times I actually did. I take that back. But it could have probably turned ugly if it wanted to. But, it's just you have to make your mind up, and I'll say this too. It helps when you have belief in Christ.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And pray to him before you go, So we should pray when we're going to do anything. I mean, no matter what we're going to do, and everything. So, well, guys, I know we're going on right almost 2 hours now, and
yes, we didn't even had to catch our second wind. you guys, Parker, he'll call me. We'll be on video chat. Me and him and Miss Pat in the background. We'll all talk 3 or 4 hours. I mean, that's when I didn't get wound up good till midnight.
And I know Rebecca's got to get in bed here pretty soon.
Yeah,
She's got work tomorrow.
Parker was dogging me a little bit the other day when I shot that nice 8-point over in the field. I watched him. I mean, he just buckled up and hit the ground pretty much. He tried to lunge, and then his front end didn't work. He just fell to the ground. I cranked that Jeep up and drove straight over. But I'd call my brother, couldn't get a hold of him, so I called my buddy Mark. I wasn't gonna leave that deer. Nope. I mean, I could have probably drove out and got somebody, but I didn't know. I wasn't gonna leave that nice 8-point laying there in that field and go get nobody. And I mean, he was 35 yards from the wood line, I guess. So after I got a hold of my buddy Mark, the one that helps me out doing my work, I told him, he told me, he said, I'll be there in a few minutes. When I hung up with him, I video chatted with Joe Parker. He's in the field, and I was holding my phone so he could see me. And he's like, "What'd you kill?" He said, "I knew when you called me, you'd done kill something." I spun the phone around where you could see it. And I was sitting there. He's like, "You ain't gonna leave that deer, are you?" I said, "No, I ain't gonna leave this deer. nope, I'm gonna sit right here till somebody comes help me get it loaded because I couldn't load it with my crippled up leg. And but that's it, y'all. I mean, it changes your life when you realize that these things are there and you have dealings with them. A lot of things you just can't go back to the other things you used to do. You're done with it.
Tell them how far I hobbled across that field.
Oh,
when I shot
Al shot a good 8-point last year. He shot it about 450 yards. He's got to have a hip replacement for long. Al was afraid it was going to get dark before I got to him to go to his buck. And where he killed it, that's in the Tal Broncos book, where my dad shot the deer and then the booger stole it. That was the deer he killed was within probably 30 yards of where Dad's deer got stole. He was so scared that the time it got dark, I got to him that damn nice 8-point was going to come up missing. He hobbles across about 450 yards of this rough field. And when I get over there, he's standing there with his rifle, like guarding it, looking at the woods. He's afraid that's going to get his deer, but everything was good. It didn't. We got his deer out and all that. But, yeah, I mean, but y'all, these things over here, they're sneaky. You leave a deer, odds are you come back, it ain't going to be there.
We've had some disappear off Creepy Mountain. We've had some just disappear out of nowhere, you know. And
yep.
I mean, big good blood trail. I mean, there's no way that deer walked off on its own, you know.
Yeah.
You find a lot of times where it lay down, it'd be a big puddle of blood. Get there, wouldn't be nothing there, you know.
Yeah.
And you couldn't trail no blood off. A lot of times we take dogs and try to trail it off, and the dogs just pretty much refuse to go.
Yep.
You know, or if they did go, they'd go a little piece, then they'd just stop. It's
yep.
just like they knew something was there, you know.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, once you see one of these things or you have an encounter, it changes your thinking, the way you think. It's a reality check. I call it reality check.
It's an awakening for sure, because when you realize that monsters are really real and they're out here, it changes your whole perspective on life.
It does. It does. And
the next,
I tell you,
Mark,
go ahead.
Say Wanda, you need to ask her about Greg grunting the deer up for her. And you probably may have heard the story, but the part you hadn't heard, when we went in to find the deer, there was 9 of us went in there. And we trailed it in there. And when we finally found where it lay down, it looked like you took a 5-gallon bucket and poured a puddle of blood. It was probably 6 foot around. And there wasn't no tracks, no blood, nothing from that spot.
Yeah, that's the deer. I called it in, and she shot the end of her gun barrel was about 12 inches from the deer. I called a bull 8-point. I was standing behind her. She was sitting on the stump. I said, sit on that stump. There's a deer trail comes right here. I backed behind her about 6 feet, and I started calling and grunted a buck up. It walked right by. She was holding a rifle. The deer walked in front of her gun barrel, and she shot him, through both shoulders. Knocked the deer down. He jumped up. There was pieces of lung big as my thumb. Not lung blood, but lung tissue laying on the ground. The deer runs down there about 30, 35 yards, and me going, shoot him again. Shoot the deer. Shoot the deer. Shoot the deer. And she's just like shaking, froze. And then he starts staggering, goes up a little bit, and just falls over. I said, why didn't you shoot that deer again? What didn't he do? Okay, he's down. Let's go get the samurai. So we walk out about 300 yards. We go up there. I called my dad, called Al. They come over there, going to help us go get this deer out. We went back. That deer was like he evaporated. There was like he said, there was a puddle of blood. It was 5 foot across. It looked like the blood was that deep. That deer was gone. Not there no more.
We never found a drop of blood anywhere out from there. No tracks, no footprints, nothing.
They'll get them. There ain't no doubt about it. They'll get them. And every now and then they'll snatch hunting dogs. We've had a few dogs go missing on the hunting club and never showed up nowhere, and that was what was strange.
Yeah.
You know, one day I might come across a collar somewhere or something, but you never know. But
yeah,
one thing me and Rebecca was going to bring up real quick while we still got a good many in chat. And this is something me and her talked about the other day. You know, most time a lot of people have meet and greets, you know, in the spring, early fall. And of course, I mean, you know, we got the one coming up in the spring, and then I'm going to try to do one probably sometime after that one for, you know, for people that don't want to drive real far. You know, I mean, anybody's welcome. I hadn't come out with that date, but what would y'all, the ones that's in chat, and I know some people's not here, what if right after Thanksgiving next year, have a meet and greet, and I can do it at the grist mill because they have a pavilion.
Well, it's not really a meet and greet.
Huh?
It's not really a meet and greet.
Just to get together.
It's just to get together.
Well,
there we go.
Because I don't want it to be a bunch of meeting for the first time type thing, unless it's
new
people we talk to a lot. Does that make sense?
Right. So, we thought
everybody in this chat is welcome to come. In other words,
yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
because all y'all are family.
Confused there a minute.
There we go.
What I was thinking about would be they got that pavilion and they wrap plastic around the screens in the winter. They have heaters, but they have a big campground. Part of it's RV, then the primitive part down there in the horseshoe of the creek. And if somebody did want to look for boogers, they there. I can go ahead and tell you they're there across the creek. And I just kind of wondering what everybody would feel about that. That'd be like probably the first weekend.
Do a holiday get together.
Yeah, a holiday get together.
Seriously, a holiday get together.
The other thing, the grist mill is not far from Chillersburg, and there's motels. So if anybody didn't really want to camp, there's motels that close.
How far is it from Childersburg to there?
5 miles.
Wow.
I mean, it's right. Yeah. So it's not a bad drive.
They got power and water hookups, and they've got primitive too. So
wow.
Yeah. And plus,
I'm good. I'll be there. I may even let one.
Well, everybody be thinking about that because we may go ahead and set a date on that pretty quick because I'll need to go ahead and go lock down.
No, not New Year's.
No, it'd be
like around the 11th of December to do a Christmas Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
For our YouTube family.
Yeah. There we go.
Whoever can come.
Yeah. I know that's kind of a tough time for a lot of people as far as because they got so much going on. But we'd probably, like she said, do it the first or second weekend right after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. That way, everybody's got Thanksgiving out of the way, typically, because some people do Thanksgiving the weekend after, you know. So give it another week. That week, first weekend or second weekend in December before all the Christmas get-togethers all start.
Well, I may go ahead and this next week go up to the grist mill and go ahead and nail a weekend down. I would probably just rent the pavilion for Saturday only.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I might go ahead and get it Friday night.
Night, Abby.
But have the pavilion where we could get out of the wind if the wind was blowing or
the pavilion's got tables and chairs and a place to put up all the food and so.
And we thought about maybe like on that Saturday night doing like a potluck. Everybody brings something. And
that's more what I want to do. I want to do a holiday dinner.
Yeah. But you can bring anything you wanted to.
Right.
But
now for everybody out there, the potluck don't mean bring pot.
No. It means bring food.
Yeah. Well, everybody be thinking about that. I know that's a year away.
Kind of like we done at Daniel Boone that one night where everybody cooked something and everybody's kind of.
Was that not the most fun, y'all, at Daniel Boone?
That was
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
we had and that's kind of what we're talking about. I mean, similar to that. I mean, it'd be kind of like the meet
Yeah.
and greet that's gonna be in September. I mean,
we all know that Spencer didn't get to participate, but that was another truck breakdown. But it was fun.
Yep. But he didn't have the new truck excuse.
well,
Yeah.
this would be bring your family.
Oh, Misty brownies. Come on now.
It'd be and I mean, there's stuff to do there. I mean, you can tour that mill. They got that old covered bridge.
That cemetery's not too far from there.
Right, and right across the creek is
DeSoto
a lot of
Caverns
walking
is there.
trail. Yeah, DeSoto Caverns.
And the thing about it though, Alabama, we don't never know what it may be super cold and you may be swatting mosquitoes.
Exactly.
Right. Well, that's the only reason I thought about renting the pavilion.
It's screened in.
If it was raining or if it was cold and windy
or buggy,
we'd have a place to sit out of the weather.
And they do put heaters in there typically.
Yeah.
And they even got like a little kitchen in there. They got sinks and refrigerators, and they'll let you use all that stuff. So, but what I would probably do, me and her will pick up the pavilion rental, but everybody just have to pay their own camping fee.
Yep.
And I don't think it's very high. I think it's, especially primitive, I think it's real cheap.
Yeah.
RV, I don't know what it is anymore.
I won't say. I remember them saying about $10 a night, I think.
Yeah.
But like I said, if anybody didn't want to camp,
There's other places.
There's 2 pretty good motels within 5 miles.
Yeah, but when we stayed,
wasn't much. Yeah, we rented a motel down there when we come down there to y'all's place back last spring or whenever that was. We rented a motel there in Sylacauga. It wasn't but like $70 a night or something, maybe. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. That's just everybody be thinking about that, and we may go ahead and set a date and lock it down. And I hadn't locked down the one for Double Bridges or Hatchet Creek yet. I was kind of trying to debate doing it about a month after the one at LBL, give everybody a little time to rest up, but before it gets real hot too.
Yeah.
And because down there at Hatchet Creek will get busy when the weather gets warm. Everybody will come down there and start swimming and everything else. But that'd be more of a, because that's on the Coosa management area. And that's a wild place. It's wild. It used to be 50-something thousand acres of management area. Now it ain't but about 10, but most of it's down there on Hatchet Creek with Guthrie Creek.
You drive, David, we'll put you up at our house.
Yep.
I got 5 recliners. Part of the couch, 5 seats.
But we'll be talking about it more. I just want to kind of run that by everybody to be thinking about that. Because I know too, there's some people that are kind of by themselves, not they don't have nobody at holidays.
Yeah.
And that'd be a perfect chance for them to come fellowship with some people for a weekend.
Hang out with family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, just keep that in mind, and me and her may drop a date by next week, and I may lock that pavilion down for next year. And then, of course, we'll go to talking about it more and more as we get closer and closer.
Yeah.
But because that place stays rented out a lot, but I don't think December's real bad. I think they pretty open in December
because it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody got any prayer requests tonight? I know a lot of people starting to drop out of chat pretty good, so I think everybody getting wore out. But has anybody got anybody we need to remember besides Greg and Crystal, and I know there's some others I'm probably forgetting. Mr. Terry was on here tonight. Y'all keep him in prayer. And has anybody heard from Mr. Martin Hubel in the last week or two?
I haven't. I'm ashamed I hadn't talked to Martin a couple of weeks, I guess, or a week or two.
Is Misty's on here? She may have talked to him. I knew he was supposed to have that other eye surgery, and I didn't know how all that went because I ain't seen him on Facebook or on Messenger in a while. So
What she did?
Yes, that was Coonbo calling there. I don't know what he's wanting. I could call him back a little bit. Oh, go ahead, bring this up. I mean, I guess most everybody noticed where Larry Porch and Debbie run off and got all married up.
Oh yeah. Yep, that's cool.
Yeah, congratulations on that. Look at there.
I'm on call, guys. That's why
Uh
y'all keep seeing me on my phone.
oh.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a bunch of people said they knew something was up the other day when they both took off to Arkansas. So,
Yeah.
Who was that needed prayer? With PJ.
Janice.
Okay. All right. Y'all remember Janice?
Wow.
One of PJ's friends.
That's horrible. Yeah. The big C, it sucks really bad.
Yeah, and the reason I'm on call, friend of mine at work, she sent us a message earlier. Her granny has been rushed to the hospital again. Her heart rate's below 30.
Oh, wow.
Problems breathing and stuff. And they got her transferred to Grandview, and it's still not any better at this moment. So,
Wow.
she's our closing manager, and I may have to go take over for her if she has to leave. But
Right.
at this point, she's probably good because she's only got
30
more minutes. So,
Yeah.
Well, if y'all can think of anybody else, and I know there's a lot of probably unspoken and I can't even talk, prayer requests. And I don't know why I do that sometimes. I still catch myself stuttering a little bit.
I do it too.
I used to not do that till I got the plague back a few years ago. But,
I've always done it to a degree. I have a tiny stutter, but that stuff made it worse.
Yeah. Well, nobody else don't have nobody else they want to throw in that prayer request. Well, but y'all see who everybody in the chat has mentioned, Miss Janice. Y'all keep Greg in your prayers. And I know there's a lot of people that need a lot of prayers right now.
Yeah.
Girl at work.
Yeah.
Prayer strong, y'all. Prayer strong. And I'm still waiting. I got to go Monday and find out what's said about my blood results, see where my A1C is, and see if that's depending on it when they're going to actually do surgery on my ankle. They want me to get my blood sugar fine-tuned before they do the surgery. And for those that don't know, I crushed a bone in my ankle. They're going to have to take the bone completely out and put a titanium disc, kind of like a hockey puck. Then they're going to bolt through my heel bone, through that titanium disc, and then anchor bolted up into my leg bone. So that's kind of what I'm facing. That's the reason I'm hobbling around with a walking boot and a crutch. I ain't really able to do a whole lot, but they got to put my ankle, take it apart, and put it back together and run around in there with a stick or something. But hopefully, with the grace of the good Lord, maybe within a few months, I'll be ready to roll.
We'll be praying for you, Greg, and y'all get on Rebecca for playing with the mouse. She about took us out.
I wish David and them could get out here. Oh, I wish they could make it. Man,
I hope so too. I hope they can make it to at least either
one of them.
Yeah,
one of them here.
Oh yeah, maybe David Hughes and David Blaylock. Maybe man, a lot of these folks, man, I just can't wait to sit around a campfire with them. Just
Absolutely.
I'd love to meet everybody on here.
Man, what are you talking about? Yeah, look, I mean they just think I'm crazy on here. If we get in person, they'll be like throwing rocks at me, going, "Oh, something wrong with him."
Hey, we can tell them some stories we can't tell on here and make them laugh a whole lot more.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I tell you, everyone I've ever been to has been fun. I mean, it's been interesting. Had a good time, and
well, Marcus,
that's what it's about, fellowship.
We've been blessed for the Lord to put good people in our lives. What it is, that's exactly what the deal
I agree.
is.
And
I agree with you. And I mean, right now, which everybody pretty much is going to 3 or 4 channels, but we're like a big family right now.
Yep.
And I hope it stays that way. I hope we keep the trolls out and nothing but better and better people come in. And and have a big family and
Yeah.
talk about, not just about Bigfoot, but talk about just life.
That's what it's all about. It's about family and what's going on in your life and taking care of everybody.
Y'all,
That's right.
People don't do that anymore.
I can't even do justice how, like me, I could have been sure enough down and out in a bad place with my leg, just mentally, just, here I am broke down, this and that. And I can't even explain to people what a relief to me talking to y'all, Joe Parker, Spencer, Misty, Roger, all my Bigfoot buddies out, y'all, it's unreal. Like when y'all came up here and, man, I had so much company there for a while. Everybody was coming up, hanging out at the man cave with me. Y'all, I was in a bad place because the doctor gave me a horrible report. I mean, they were wanting to take my foot off. That got my mind off of worrying about me.
It's about having somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Me and Greg talk a lot, but there's a lot of things. I work in Birmingham. He lives here. Well, when he's here by himself or he's at home, when he's by himself, he thinks about shit he needs to be not thinking about. And there's no way he can't. Well, if he's got good friends and good family,
yeah,
it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's like we're just like nearly like dysfunctional medicine for each other. I think.
Yeah, it is. Well, we'll go ahead and say a prayer, and sound like Kumbo's still after you. So,
well, believe it or not, that's Troy Allen. I'll call him back. Look there, I got to.
We're gonna have to start getting Kumbo in the chats with us.
We do.
We kind of all look, we got that fade going.
I used to have more hair. I mean, I'm not bald. It's just my forehead's about a 5 or 6 head now.
Yeah.
Y'all see
Yeah,
all
you
this?
see mine.
I got
a head of hair.
That's what I'm talking about. Look here. All my hair slid down here.
mine's still here.
Hey, that's a good way to do it, ain't it? That's part of life, losing that top hair. But
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Lord, thank you for letting us come tonight in fellowship and just enjoy each other and chat and talk just about life and different things that we've had to go on. It ain't always about Bigfoot. It ain't always about paranormal or all this other stuff. It's about people being humans together, loving one another, fellowshipping, and having a good time. Thank you, Lord, for the blessings you give us every day and being patient with us, loving on us, sending your Son to be the ultimate sacrifice for us, where we can spend eternity with you and him in heaven. Lord, forgive us of our sins that are many, and help us forgive others the sins against us, Lord, to make up with our brothers and try to get along. Lord, we pray for everybody on here tonight that's asked for prayers. You know what they are, the ones that's spoken and the ones that's unspoken. And we had some friends tonight, Lord, that wasn't in the chat, and we hope everything was okay with them and everything's going well. Be with us through the rest of this weekend, Lord, and be with us till next week when we come back with another live. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, they guys, they just, it's amazing though how many people, good, really great people is look at her, super glad hair for this pillow. Is she talking about me? I guess I've been like sliding around here, but just good people, y'all. I mean, just like everywhere I turn, it's like the Lord's just putting good people in my path. So,
yeah.
And that's
I agree with you. It was amazing. I don't know, what was it? A little over a year ago, when Rebecca and a couple other people said, "Hey, you ought to get on YouTube and start telling what happened to you and others on Creepy Mountain and what y'all seen." And
yeah,
and I kind of played with it for how long?
Oh wow!
A long time.
Because I was already doing the homestead and stuff.
Yeah, she was already doing the homesteading, so I finally broke down and started doing a couple of videos, and next thing I know, I had people talking to me and wanting to know what went on. Next thing I know, I was, went on Chris Reinhardt's show. First time I'd been on a Bigfoot show since, before 2013. And I just didn't know what it was going to really open up. I mean, I didn't even dream what it was going to happen, and how many people I've met in person in the last year, and how many in chat. I'm pretty when they pop up, I know who they are.
Yeah.
And see them in other chats. So it's been a good thing, and I hope we can keep it going. I hope the Lord protects us all, and all our channels keep growing, just for this fellowship of the fellowship. If I never seen a booger again, I could care less about seeing a booger again.
I'll be fine.
I don't live life without seeing him. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of eases your heart a little bit. It's not as self-bearing to me to be able to talk to people about it, because you're not as afraid people's gonna make fun of you, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Because like at work for a long time, I tell people and they try to make fun of it. It made it a lot easier. I don't care anymore if people believe me or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have people you can talk to about it, and family and friends, it makes it a lot easier to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there's some people out there that don't understand that.
And that's the good thing about all of us right now. Even if we disagree on stuff, we still get along about it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you can. That's what I've tried to tell people. You can disagree and have a different point of view, but just respect that other person. You don't have to argue. Just say, look, I understand what you see. I don't see it. Okay.
And move on.
Yeah. Look, I no ill will. You don't have to dog somebody and call them out and blah, blah, blah. No, because we could all be sitting in on the side of the road and watch a car wreck. We may have 4 different points of view. I mean, you can agree with somebody respectfully. I mean, that's
exactly.
That's part of it. So
We used to before we became keyboard warriors.
You're right.
I've got a good friend of mine I work with. I've been friends with him for 13 years. And when he found out I was a Bigfoot believer, or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them, when he first found out, he would like tease me about it. But the thing is, after he was sure I was real about what I was talking about, he gave me a silver dollar and sent Greg a silver dollar.
Yeah, he sent us a 1 ounce silver, 999 fine silver coin.
And there's a reason behind it, but I've never got him to tell me the reason behind it. Because if he didn't believe it, he wouldn't have done that.
Nope.
But he
Something went on.
asked me about it. And he's like, we talk and we talk and we talk. And he's never let me pay for those silver dollars. There's a reason behind that. And one day I will get to figure it out. But to this day, I haven't yet. And he's what was that?
Well,
I said, he'll tell you the story one day.
One of these days.
One of these days he will, I'm sure.
There's one thing about it, some of these people that wanted to ridicule and make fun, we had never had one of them that we told, well, if you don't believe us, come on and go with us. We ain't had no takers on that either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I had a couple of takers and they became believers real quick. When we were sitting on the tailgate and one walked across the road, they became a believer real quick.
Yeah. Well, guys, we better get off here. I mean, we 2 hours 20 minutes.
I agree. I appreciate y'all being on.
No, brother. Anytime. I'm still
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, just like I say every time, I'm just surprised people won't even tune in when I'm there to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't nothing but old redneck hillbilly, but
you can keep an audience tuned in.
I've led an eventful life, y'all, and I mean that's just it. It's the sad part about it. It's all factual. I mean, yeah, I have to tone it down on here. I mean, if y'all really hear the whole episode, it's phenomenal.
One thing about it, we don't have to make up stories, especially when we get together.
Yeah, no, we just lived it. It's colorful.
I'd be getting a little less, especially during dove season, if I were y'all.
Yeah, we've lived a colorful life. I mean, that's just the way it rolls. But guys, enjoyed it, and big love to everybody out there that's tuned in, hung in here with us.
And everybody be safe.
You know, yes, God bless everybody, and just keep praying, pray hard, y'all. Pray for everybody. Pray for our country. Yeah. And if you don't do nothing else, talk to the Lord every night before you lay your head down and go to sleep, because that may be the last time you get to do that.
And because He will help you if He can.
Oh, He can. Right. Yeah. Forgiveness is only a breath away.
That's it.
So, but I may act like a heathen, y'all, but look here. I know the Lord's real. I mean, I got full faith in the Lord. I mean, I beg for forgiveness every day. Try to do better tomorrow. Sometimes I got the struggles. Sometimes the struggles ain't so bad. Sometimes they are. But y'all enjoy it. Just keep in mind what this Christmas season's all about. It ain't about the toys. It ain't about this and that. It just, y'all know what it's about.
That's right.
That's it. About the birth of our Savior. Yep.
Yes, sir.
That's exactly. So,
well, everybody, glad y'all came in. We love y'all. Remember, get along, love one another, because it don't cost nothing.
That's it.
And y'all go get y'all some sleep tonight where y'all want to hunt tomorrow. And
who knows?
Yeah,
we may be having tornadoes in the morning. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll go from there.
Well, anybody that's in the Southeast, Tennessee, if you're in Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, y'all watch the weather. Next day or so, y'all probably done seen it. We may be getting Christmas naders, as I call them.
Yeah,
that's
true.
it. Christmas.
I've seen a lot of them in December.
Yeah,
you're done right. Bad ones.
All
right, brothers. I appreciate y'all being on tonight.
Y'all have a good one.
We'll see y'all.
Bye, y'all.
See everybody else. We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.